Both were very young at the time, and both used their age as an excuse to support their fear. And so in Jeremiah's case, Jeremiah says, you know what? I'm too young to speak for God. I can't do that. No way, big guy. Not going to happen. Mary's fear is rooted in the potential for public shaming, for potential for humiliation, and even the potential for death. Mary, as we know, wasn't married at the time, and she was living under the weight of empire. That means under this time of King Herod, the brutal ruler. But she was also living under patriarchal control. The guys had all the control. And when the angel Gabriel spoke his calling words to Mary, her response was not immediate acceptance. Her response was fear. Her response was confusion. Her response was resistance. The story says Mary was greatly troubled, which suggests Mary wasn't just simply puzzled. Mary was shaken to the very core. She was thrown off balance, and she was, again, quite possibly afraid for her life. In response to Jeremiah's deep-seated fear, God says, in response, you know what, Jeremiah, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to be with you the whole time. And in response to Mary's deep-seated fear, the angel offers a promise. And that promise is the presence of the Holy Spirit. But that also includes shelter from the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will come over you. You will be overshadowed. And you might hear those words in another way, and so I want to put this right up front. Let's be clear. In Mary's case, these words carry no hint of coercion. They speak of protection. They don't speak of domination, okay? And still, her consent remains essential. Mary listens. She considers the possibilities. She considers the impossible. And then she responds. And she responds with courage. Let it be with me according to your word. In today's world, I could hear her say, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Jeremiah's response is similar. He will speak for God. And so this week's readings serve as a reminder. And that reminder is sometimes saying yes to God's call fills us with fear. Responding to God's call sometimes fills us with fear. And like Mary and Jeremiah, we fear that we aren't enough. We fear that we're going to be alone. We fear that no one will listen, and yet God calls us forward. God invites us to live fully into who we are created to be. And God invites us and reminds us and promises us that God is going to be with us every step of the way as we move through our fear. We don't erase our fear as we move through our fear. And I say that because we're often taught that fear is failure, something to silence, right? But this Advent, we're invited to see fear in a new way. Some fear protects us. There was no way that I was going to get into that swimming pool. There was no way that I was going to say, would you go to the prom? It protects us, right? In a wacky way. Fear is also a threshold of transformation, though. The fear that comes when we are on the edge of saying yes to God, that courage.